What was Lou's first job? That's the question. I like it. Get right to the point. It depends how far back you want to go. Would you guys consider having a paper route to be a job? Oh, I had a paper route.
Yeah, if you got paid for
I
it.
delivered papers Sunday Sun. The Toronto Sun came out on Sunday, right? I delivered the Toronto Sun. And that meant you had to also stuff the papers. That was the toughest part of the job, actually. So back then, a newspaper. Wow, listen to what I'm saying right now. Newspaper. That's crazy. Who's looking at newspapers anymore? Nobody. Anyhow, children, back in the old days, there was a thing called newspapers. And people read them, I guess. Yeah, look. Yeah, Will, you got to show the people what these are. Okay, I get it. They're still out there. But there's another newspaper called The Sun in the UK. But the Toronto Sun is the one that I delivered. Anyway, back when people got their information from printed pieces of paper, the papers themselves were supported by advertising. Obviously, I guess they still are. And you had flyers that would go in the middle in different sections. And for some reason, they would come from different print shops. Maybe they were a little different, actually. The flyers were higher quality. So I think that the brands that would have the advertisements in the flyers would spend a little bit more. So if you had like Walmart, or I don't even remember what the ads would be on the flyers, but you would get them in two separate sections. You would have to go, I think, at like 5 a.m. and pick up the two different sections and then put the flyers inside of the newspaper. We used to call it stuffing the papers. Then after you did that, you had to twist it up, put it in a bag. And this took a while, man, depending how big your route was. I hated this part compared to actually just delivering the papers. That was fine. I didn't mind that. But I had a pretty small route. I delivered these papers to probably 40 houses in the hood. And the best part was that around Christmas time, when you went to collect, this is wild, you got to collect the money for the papers as well. It's not like they have a credit card on file or something. They pay you. You bring the stub so you can show how many times they got the paper that month or whatever it was. And then they'd have to pull out their cash. And anyway, the upside of that was that around the holidays, they would tip you. If they liked you, if you presented yourself well and you went to the door and you were like, "Hi, I'm the little kid that brings your paper." I remember one time I got a card with $25 in it. Merry Christmas.
Wow.
And that was very exciting times, Will. Very exciting times. The other thing was you would get to, since you were up so early, what we would do, I did this with a friend of mine. We would go for breakfast. We would test out the different diners after we were done. We'd meet up and go do that. So great times. I mean, I guess you can't have that job anymore. Maybe some people have that job, but it's not as many as it used to be. Paperboy. The video game was cool as well. The Game Boy game. Another throwback right there. But this guy would throw it through the window and stuff like that. I never did that. I made sure the windows were fine. In fact, I would place it down on the mat. I didn't even throw it at the end of the driveway. I would bring it to the mat because I was already thinking about that Christmas bonus. So I would bring it to the mat. All right. So even back then, attention to detail, Will.